Yesterday we discussed Avraham Avinu's first 75 years of life and accomplishments. How he revolutionized mankind from moving away from idol worshipping to belief in a one God, creator of the universe. Not only did he believe, but as the Medrash says, Vayikra Avraham, Avraham Avinu called Keil Olam, and it says, Al Tikra Vayikra Ela Vayakri. He made others recognize it. And indeed that's what he did. He said a story that at the age of 3, his father entrusted him the shop and he destroyed all the idols. He was thrown into the furnace by Nimrod, survived miraculously, and went out to tell the story that God actually saved him. Yet all this is not even mentioned. And we asked why. Where does Avraham Avinu appear suddenly, so to say, in full glory? Parsha of this week. Lech Lecha. And as the Rebbe says in Ayam Yom, this is a Freiliche Parsha. This is a happy Parsha. We're talking about Avraham Avinu's presence. What does the Torah say? God commands him, Lech Lecha me'artzecha me'ladtecha be'esavicha la'oretz asher areka. Go forth from your land, from your birthplace, and from your father's house to the land I will show you. So the Torah introduces Avraham Avinu by this command of leaving everything behind, all his accomplishments, and going to the unknown, but not just the unknown, to what I will show you. What the Torah is stressing over here, it's defining the unique nature of Avraham Avinus, the first Jew, thus representing all of us. His unique relationship with God. That the primary relationship with God lies not in what we accomplish on our own, but the relationship is that the fact that God has chosen him, Avraham Avinu, us, as his people. And therefore the Torah doesn't discuss any of the background information about what he's accomplished in 75 years, because this was only as Avraham Avinu's doing. What we are concerned about is that new relationship that God says, you follow my commandment. I have chosen you and you follow my commandment. And that's the ultimate and the unique relationship. And this is emphasized in those words that the Torah says over here. Leave me'artzecha, moladetecha, u'beisavicha. Because to grow in this ultimate relationship where God is prevalent, where it's all about God, is in those 3 steps of artzecha, moladetecha, u'beisavicha, and therefore the Torah specifies it. Although one would just simply say, okay, leave from where you are and go to where I will show you. No, there's 3 steps over here. In that unique relationship, of building that relationship, of oneness, of total submission to God. Because God is the one who is commanding me, and therefore I do that, is emphasized in those 3 steps. Which means as follows. From your land represents nature. So God says, first of all, you must abandon your natural preferences, even if they are good, as was the case of Avraham Avinu. But don't do things because they're just your nature. You do them because you are told to do it. Moladtecha, your birthplace, represents your environment shapes your habits and lifestyle. So that's the second step, which demands that one should transcend the trends and influences of our surroundings and commit ourselves completely what God shows us. Beis Avicha, your father's house, this alludes to education, which is provided by the parents who raises us. And this command tells us that in order to reach the promised land, Ha'oretz asher ar'eka, the land that I will show you, in other words, the land where I am revealed, this, to reach this, must be the devotion to God, must supersede your academic sophistication and intellectual achievement. It's not about what I understand. It's not about what I appreciate. It's about what I'm told to do. The land that I will show you, which means to a person who devotes himself unconditionally to God, surrendering any personal preferences, calculations, or biases, the specific destination is irrelevant. His readiness to fulfill whatever God wills is always the same, regardless of the particulars. And therefore Avraham always said, Hineni, God, Hineni.